So today, I want to talk about the only thing that's constant, and that is awareness itself. That's all there is. There's nothing but awareness. And when we can grasp that, we understand everything. You see, it's so interesting to know that everything in your life, your body, your relationships, your emotions, your circumstances, they will change. Everything changes. The only thing that's constant is your awareness of what is. And even that awareness is colored by where you choose to focus. You've heard it said 1,000 times, where you put your focus is what you experience. Of course, there are infinite things happening around you, but you're not experiencing infinite things. You're only experiencing where your mind is focused. And what you find is that what doesn't change in life is the one who's aware of it all. That silent, steady, ever-present awareness that's watching your life unfold now. And that, my friends, is the real you. It's nothing else. So let's take this and let's break this down a little bit. So before we can go further into it, let's sit down and talk about what is awareness. Awareness is not your thoughts. You think it is, but it's not. It's not your emotions, even though you feel them all the time. It's not even your personality, and your personality is just a collection of all the thoughts, feelings, and experiences you've ever had, forming a tendency in how you live in the world. Awareness, my friends, is the space in which all of those things rise and all of those things fall away. If you can imagine for a moment the sky, clouds come and go, sunny days, stormy days, but the sky itself never changes. That's the same thing as your mind. Thoughts come and go, emotions come and go, experiences come and go. But guess what? Awareness is the sky. Awareness is the infinite field where all things exist at the same time, everywhere present. When you start to grasp that, you realize you're really not the body, mind, and your experiences, but you have them, and you get to interpret how you have them. Most people spend their lives staring at the clouds, arguing about the clouds, fearing the clouds, worshiping the clouds. But very few people ever realize, I'm the sky. I'm not the clouds. They just happen to be there, but we think it's not that. So, now that we understand that awareness is the sky with nothing in it, let's look at it in combined with perception. Awareness itself is unchanging, but what you experience within awareness depends entirely on your focus. Where do you focus that thought? Where do you focus that mind? Life doesn't decide what you see. Your awareness, guided by focus, does. People want to say, well, life's giving me these lessons. No, life isn't giving you. Where you focusing is giving you the lessons. The great Buddha said, all that we are is the result of what we've thought. You see, that's the illusion. We believe we are all that we've thought. We forget we're the infinite. Science of Mind and Ernest Holmes says that life is a mirror reflection back to us of the images of our inward thought. All the great teaching, Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. In other words, what you experience is based on your beliefs. So you want to know what your beliefs are? Look at the experience that you're having. You see, you don't see life as it is. You see life as you are. And that, my friends, is difficult because we want to see life differently. We don't want to face the fact that maybe that's not who we are right now. So let's talk about the practice of awareness. Let's talk about 3 simple steps. The first step is observation. Observation is the first awakening. You start to notice your mind at work. You see a thought arise, a thought like, I'm not good enough. You watch it instead of believing it. And you say, look at that. a thought trying to define me. It's exactly what it's doing. The moment of noticing, man, that's pure freedom. You've stepped out of identification and into awareness. Do you see the subtlety there? You've stepped out identifying with something that is not who you are into who you are, which is pure awareness. Step 2, it's allowing. Most of the suffering that we ever experience in the human form is when we resist what's happening. Life says change, we say no. Life says let go, we cling tighter. I noticed that when I was battling my back sciatica about 10 years ago. I wouldn't accept, oh, I got it. Then finally I accepted it. And I forced myself to try to get better. No. The longer I forced myself, the worse it got. What I had to do was relax. I had to relax and let nature, through just simple stretching, move through me. I didn't try to deny I had it. I accepted I had it, and I worked through it. You see, awareness doesn't resist. It allows. It says to you, this too is happening. Just let it be. Life is going to happen, but it's not happening to you. It's your intention that causes you to feel it's happening to you. And that, my friends, is the problem. And what I want to say about that is, it's so easy to fall into the illusion, to fall into the trap. Yes, so easy. And we all do it every day. So, one of the great teachers that I love to follow is Michael Singer. And in The Untethered Soul, he said, your resistance to life is your greatest teacher because it causes you suffering. And when you resist something and you suffer, in order to stop the suffering, you have to become more aware. And you see, so when something arises like sadness, fear, confusion, instead of fighting it, just simply breathe into it. It's part of the experience. Say to yourself, it's okay. Let this be here now. And when you do that, watch how the suffering disappears. It disappears in the spaciousness of your awareness. Step 3, refocus. Once you've observed, once you've allowed, now you can consciously refocus. You see, awareness is neutral, but focus is creative. One of the great things I learned from the teacher, Dr. John Demartini, is that if you have an issue in your life, you have to break through that issue. And the way you break through it is you have to own it, and you have to see that your life with it is in balance. You are equally challenged and supported. So you may have something that someone did to you, and you think this is so negative. Well, you've got to find out what are the positives about it. And then, when have you done something like that to someone else? And what did they feel? And then what were the negatives to them? And what were the positives of them? It's a long process. It takes probably about, when you're working with John, it takes about an 8-hour process. You can do it shorter, but you're in a group doing it. Let me tell you, you neutralize that event. And when you neutralize the event, now you're in pure awareness. So you got to sort of ask yourself, what do I want to energize right now? Do I want to energize peace? Do I want to energize gratitude, courage, love? Because remember, whatever you focus on expands. The holy trinity of conscious living is awareness reveals, focus directs, and energy creates. That's really an interesting way to start looking at this idea of a trinity. Awareness reveals, focus directs, energy creates. Seed, soil, plant. Thought, law, form. It's the creative process. That's all it is. So how do we bring awareness into our daily life? Well, the first thing we can do is we can start small. When you feel anxious, Pause. Notice the feeling. When you feel joy, pause. Notice the feeling. When you're stuck in judgment, observe it without shame. I do that all the time. People say to me, well, Lee, you're a spiritual teacher. You don't judge. What the heck? It's the mind's nature to judge. His nature just compares everything back and forth. And when you're comparing back and forth and you develop preference, that's judgment. I have judgment, but I observe it, and I observe it without shame. Ask yourself, when you're doing all of these things, when you're feeling anxious, you're feeling joy, when you're feeling judgment, ask, who's aware of this? Every time you do, you're going to return home, back to that still center inside of you that never changes. Pure awareness. It's always with you. It never stops. And as you live from that space, life begins to flow differently. You'll notice more peace. You'll speak more intentionally. You'll react less and respond more. Because being aware gives you a choice. You're no longer bound by habits, unconscious habits that have been formed from the time you were born. You're now making conscious choices based on your preferences on how you want to live and how you want to experience this life. You see, everything in life is impermanent. Thoughts shift, emotions rise and fade, people come and go, circumstances build up, and they fall away. Think about everything in your life. The only thing that remains the same is your awareness. I was in the gym today, and I looked at my body in the mirror. It's changed. I looked at my wife. She's changed. My sons have changed. My granddaughter's changed. Everything has changed, and it will continue to change. My emotions through the day go up, down, all around. My thoughts, 60,000 thoughts a day on average. They're changing all the time. And then they fall away. The key to remember is everything in life is impermanent. Stop trying to make it permanent, because then you're fighting against life. You can't win, because life always wins. Awareness, that still, open, watching presence, it remains constant through all. You just don't see it because you're living in the outside. You're living with the attachment to the mind, to the emotions, and to the body, and to the experience. But who's watching it? Remember, you are not what changes. You are that which sees the change. When you get to this level of awareness, you are looking at life through the eyes of the divine, through the eyes of love. And this is the state of pure being and pure love. So today, give yourself a break. Everybody's challenged. But remember, the experience is not who you are. That which is observing it is. And if you continue to do this practice, you will find your life will change, and you'll be able to dance in life, to play in life, in the sorrow, in the suffering, in the joy, in the ecstasy. You'll be dancing because you understand that that's the outer manifestation. It's not who you really are. You're the divine, individualized, perfect, whole, and complete. Right now, you've always been, and you always will be.